call the member for Macquarie.
Thank you, Deputy Speaker. We're here to mark International Day of People with Disability, a day which says to the approximately 4 million Australians with a disability that we respect you, and as a society we believe that you should have choice and control in your life. That's what the National Disability Insurance Scheme, designed by Labor and eventually given bipartisan support, at its best is designed to do. Sadly, too many participants are not experiencing it at its best, and nor do our other supports like the Disability Support Pension allow people to be equal and positive contributors to our society, free from discrimination. My office receives frequent calls from people being taken off disability support pension or being refused access to that support. They ask themselves and us, when is a disability not a disability? Because by the time they have thought that the problem was big enough to take to their local member, they are almost at breaking point. And that happens when Centrelink writes to you and tells you you don't meet the 20-point requirement because you have an invisible disability, perhaps, such as mental health issues or hepatic encephalopathy, which is one of the most difficult conditions to articulate clearly. But because it's unusual and not known and rare, it isn't as well understood by those making assessments. But what it does is cause memory loss that can lead to brain damage. So the cost of assessments, more doctor's appointments, specialists, occupational therapists when you're not able to work, makes progressing these claims really challenging. I have one woman in my electorate who is also desperate for a job but battling a health issue that restricts the work she can do. And she's made the very reasonable request to have her job-finding support provided by a specialist disability provider. A very sensible approach. They'll understand her needs and they'll support her find the right workplace and the right job. But no, the government has not allowed her to swap job providers. This woman wants to work, but the inadequate system in place for people with disabilities prevents her from making it happen. These are the frustrations for people with disabilities on a daily basis that unfairly restricts them making the contribution that they would like to make. Then there are the imperfections of the NDIS that make participants continue to have to prove their disability on an annual basis. As one of my constituents, Riley, pointed out, he will still wake up a quadriplegic tomorrow. He should not have to keep proving his disability time and time again. Now, he can self-advocate. He can get out there and have the fight, even though it makes him weary, as it does many. But not everyone can self-advocate, and carers are often pushed to the limits stretched between caring and advocacy. But let's talk about some of the incredible people who I have come in contact with in the seat of Macquarie. I want to pay tribute to people like Greta Surov, who in her late 20s has now completed a university degree, is a motivational speaker and has designed her own T-shirt with the message, "Hands are overrated." Now, Greta has cerebral palsy and she speaks using a voice-generating app on her iPad. She scuba dives, she experiences indoor skydiving, she's a bit of an adrenaline junkie by the sounds of it, and she always maintains her sense of humour, and that shines through. Yet every time she has an NDIS review, she has to appeal. And Greta, like so many others, such as Beck and Elle, are advocates. They deal with the challenges their own disability presents, and then they speak out so others don't have to experience the same humiliations and injustices. Then there are the carers. Carers such as Rachel, who has fought the NDIA endlessly simply to get what her family needs to provide 24-hour-a-day care for her son Cameron, who has very complex needs. His big sisters are terrific carers too, and the whole family deserves support to manage the additional needs that their much-loved brother has. And Linda, who has stepped up to be an advocate using her experience of fighting for the very best early intervention and support for her daughter Lucy. And she helps others negotiate what is truly a complex system. Then there are the NDIS participants whose fight with the NDIA ends only days before tribunal hearings. They've argued, and only when that's done do they get a good night's sleep. We need to do much better by all these people.